What's up, guys? Welcome back to Wrenching Wrecked. I should be working on the softail today, trying to get this thing done. But in the last video or two videos I mentioned I got some things going on that should be really good for the channel, I think, and for my own personal life as well, and for the shop. So in that regard, I feel like it's kind of a win-win. We got to put the tanks back on this. We are so close. And I got to grab some, hopefully I can grab some spacers today. I need some 1/2-inch washers to stack those behind the choke plate. I do have a new Vose switch that we might try and rig up on the other side. Not exactly positive what I'm doing on that yet. And then we got to mount these tanks back on. But go back a couple videos. We did have this fired up and running on the little gas bottle before it died out. So first priority at some point. I don't know if it's going to happen this weekend because we got Mother's Day tomorrow. So I will not be out here tomorrow for that. And then I got really busy at the shop again, which is a good thing. And more stuff coming later on today. So for sure, I will be able to announce to all of you what I got going through my head. Huge risk, huge reward scenario, I think, and it's going to kind of redirect a lot of the focus out here. We're still going to be building bikes out here, don't get me wrong in that regard, but the amount of time that I'll be able to spend doing this in the next month or two might substantially change, just because we'll be having to focus our efforts and energies on getting some other stuff set up. So I'll update you guys on that later in this video, 100%. Don't want to keep dragging that one out, but still got to put a foot peg on the chopper. I still got that for sale. Now more than ever, I need to actually consider selling that one. Again, it's cliffhanger stuff, right? You guys got to stick around till the end for that. But I'm really excited about it. I'm going to bring you guys along to the shop too today. I think I got to finish up some blasting stuff right now. It's still 5:45, 6 o'clock. Sun just started coming up a little bit ago. So I'm going to get up there, finish up the blasting. We're doing some, not my style, but I know they're popular. Got like a 23 or 26 inch front wheel for a bagger setup that's just going gloss black. Unfortunately, it was a really nice wheel. We coated it candy red 4 years ago. Got sold to another customer that came back to us to have us recoat it. And we're going from a nice candy red setup to a plain Jane gloss black, but it should look pretty good when it's all done. So let me drive over to the shop. We'll get refired up over there, and then we're doing the rotors and all the other stuff. I'll kind of run you through. We'll see how far we get in terms of that. I really just got to get a bunch of stuff done so I can move on to the fun part of the afternoon, signing some paperwork. We moved a little bit, so not too much going on in here, but there's the front wheel. So I got a little bit of blasting to finish up on this guy. It's like a 26. Unfortunately, that was too big for my strip tank. Well, it would fit in my big strip tank, but on real delicate wheels like that, I don't really trust those chemicals. Really, I got two different chemicals up here. One works really well on aluminum bits and wheels. It's 23-inch diameter. Wheels a little bit bigger than that, but it cleans everything up, you know, just kind of doesn't hurt the aluminum, doesn't hurt the base metal. The other one I have is a little bit harsher. I don't trust doing stuff like that, so we definitely have some hours in blasting on that thing. Removing powder from those, and then we got to finish up these triple trees and mask off some rotors, do a little bit of ceramic coating there. Some crazy color stuff on the gas tank, like a blue of sorts, and then a ton of gym equipment up here. Bicycles galore, like always, but we keep pretty busy, so you never know. I kind of was caught up when we were doing the trailer, which worked out really well. I got the Evo Sporty up here because it was taking up a bunch of space, and I have a car scheduled to come in later on today. So we're running out of time and space in terms of trying to navigate getting bikes done in the garage, which is why we've been dragging. I think I mentioned this in one of the swap meet videos, but this is an old Panda or shovelhead frame. We're doing a neck swap back to a factory one, since this one is all sorts of boogered up at some point, but that'll be a couple of weeks out too. And then we got to hack up that Ironhead Sporty frame over at my buddy's shop and stretch that a little bit to make a motor fit. So tons and tons of things happening that I want to start jamming on as soon as I can. I got a crazy little month here at work, so by the end of the month should have a lot more free time and way less free time all at the same time. How many times can I say time? Let's keep it going. One more time. All right. So let me get this wheel blasted, and we'll get this taped off, prepped. I'll kind of walk you through the process on what to mask and what not on these. Got some masking to do on the triple trees, plug in some of the threads on those fancy billet things. Again, way off kilter for what we usually do, but on the coating side, we do anything. So we'll be back when I'm done blasting. Got the wheel all blasted, so now it's time to start masking this thing off. So we're gonna go straight across on the flange here. It's goofy on the other side because it doesn't have a flange, it's just a open hub. So that'll be next, and then we gotta lay out the masking on this. And we're not gonna mask the rotors, we're gonna coat those and use a vacuum to kind of clean those ones up. This video's going all over the place, I think, but I'm gonna get you guys set up here on the tripod and start taping. I use fiberglass tape. Some people use the high temp, I don't know, green or yellow or blue tape too. I have some somewhere up here. I like the fiberglass stuff. It tends to work a little bit better. So let me grab some tools and an X-Acto blade and we'll start cutting. Onto the rotors. So I'm just gonna coat these real quick. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just gonna put a heavy coat on because we're gonna be vacuuming all of this off. Make sure the powder's in the bag. We're only gonna keep the centers of these black. The rest of them will get vacuumed off on the actual braking surface. I like going a little heavy on these, just knowing we're going to be vacuuming them off. Side. It's all set in the oven and preheated for a while. We got some other odds and ends. Just want to make sure it's not too hot. 125, which is good temperature for me for gloss black. Switch you guys over here real quick. Just going to dust some of these extra parts first. Nuts that he wants coated for the top of the tree that you're going to be able to see when it all gets assembled. We get these out of here. We'll kind of focus in on the wheel. These will cook pretty quick, so got a little test pass on here. Just checking the temps here, but we're plenty good on the outside. Actually, normally I start on the inside, but we're still a little on the warm side for this wheel. So we're gonna start on the outside because I know those are cool enough where it's gonna not melt. And then we'll work our way into the inside here. Usually this is the last pass for me, but I'm in a rush and I got a bunch of other stuff I need to get done. First coat, it's gloss black. I always do 2 coats with gloss black as well. Just tends to help it flow out a little bit smoother and glossier. How big it is until you start coating it. But lay this out nice. Finish up this side. I'm not worried about every tight corner quite yet. Don't want to go too heavy on it since this is the first coat. And this Kima gun does a very good job in terms of these corners and things. Died. Hook that back up when we come back around for the final coat. Because he's using the poly bushing, so that should still install just fine, but we did mask off the fork tubes on here and plug the center for the lock mechanism, or the steering stem, I mean, not the lock. And what I like to do is actually pull some of these plugs out. outside of them. I don't do this on every one, but some of them I definitely like to. Those green ones I'm not going to mess with because I don't need them falling out. And where are we at here? This should be cool enough to do all of them at once, actually. Actually kind of a hard piece. It's all machined, so it's got deep recesses for the bolts. This long pathway groove that we're going to do the best we can on here. Or the triple tree actually clamps. This should be good for the first coat. Get these in the oven. Okay, we got a semi-cured done on these, just enough to flow them out. Just, it's been in there for, I don't know, 8 minutes or so, 10 minutes. Everything just kind of gelled out, so it's going to be real textury if you get up close because it's not really fully melted. That's where I want them. So now I'm just going to let these cool down, replug the ends that I took out, shoot a second coat. Then they go back in for a final cure. Well, I made it back home. Finished up the wheels. Everything came out good. Of course, the mic died at the end of that, but wheels are getting powder coated, so they're sitting in the oven, 10, 15 minutes at 375, 400 degrees. When you go to put the bearings in, utilize that. If you peel the tape, I got to put brand new bearings in anyway. Use the heat. I had the bearings sitting in the freezer, so basically took the one bearing, slid it through this one side, because especially on that wheel design, it's kind of hard to lay that out. And then when you go to drive the bearings in or pull the bearings in, you don't want to risk cracking the powder. So use the heat from the oven. Bearing slid right in on that one side. The other one, we got it 3/4 of the way, and then I'll just use a bearing installer tool. Pinch those together and get that preload kind of set. But I promised you guys a big surprise at the end of this video. I lied. In editing, I was looking at it, and that's going to be the next video. Sorry. Not trying to do cliffhanger endings. It just made more sense to wrap up the powdering on the bagger parts. Here's one, and you'll have to wait for the next one, but I will post it pretty quick. So probably tomorrow or maybe 2 days, as soon as I get that second one edited, I will bring you up to date on all of the new happenings that I'm really excited about. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't do a ton of the powder coating stuff on the channel. It might kind of make its way in there, but still doing bikes, still doing hot rods, still doing car stuff. So keep them busy. About to be way busier. Stay tuned for the next one. I think you guys will enjoy it.